How is everybody doing today? I always like to start off with that question, and you will be amazed at how many times I get an answer that we're just doing fine or good. And I have to stop and ask myself, and I hope you do as well, is when do fine or good get to be okay for us? When do we stop and start giving up on great or amazing? My name is Brooke Daniels, and I can tell you why I was stuck in just feeling fine or good. It was when I was working as a corporate executive in tech sales. And on paper, I had a dream life. I was doing my dream hobby, teaching a competitive dance team part-time. I had my dream side hustle, working with entrepreneurs and coaching them to success. But when I stopped to feel, how did good feel? How did fine feel? I realized I was absolutely exhausted. I was burned out from traveling 70% of the time. I was overworking myself with all of these side hustles. And my relationships were suffering. When I talked to my family and friends, do you know what they told me they wanted from me? Time. They wanted time, and I wanted time for myself. And it was in this state in January of 2020 that I went to go see Oprah. And Oprah said one thing to me that made me think differently about my life. She asked if we were living life in the flow. And I thought for a second, what is this living life in the flow? Little did I know, 2 months later, the whole world was shut down due to COVID-19. And 2 months later, sadly, my older sister would die from a stroke at the age of 39. And so I found myself in this crisis moment of really having to rethink how I was using my time and if I was living my purpose. And Oprah convinced me to start meditating. And I started my journey very simply, which was just meditating on an app daily. And the benefits were so immediate. I could feel the stress coming off. I could feel myself connecting back to who I truly was. And meditation helped me connect to my unique gifts and my purpose in such a meaningful way that I decided to become a certified wellness and meditation coach to help other professionals and other entrepreneurs just like me break free of grind culture. I'd like to spend the rest of the time I have with you today to share not only how I broke free of grind culture, but I want to challenge everyone here to think about what your life could look like if it wasn't fine or good, but if it was great and amazing. So the first thing I want to focus on is shifting our life perspective from work-life balance to life-work balance. I'm telling you right now, no one is going to save you from overwork. If you think your job is going to tell you to put the work down, if you think there's not always going to be more you can be doing, you're wrong. But I'm here to tell you, you were not put here to be a productivity machine. The second thing I want to talk to you about is what stress actually does to our body. How many people in here are familiar with fight, flight, or freeze mode? Now, did you know that when we are in constant states of stress, our bodies get stuck in fight, flight, or freeze mode? And it leads to low-grade inflammation in the body. And I think nowadays we know that that low-grade inflammation leads to diseases, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure. And so think about this. I find a lot of people that hustle and grind as our only way to success. We work 150% of the time, but it's only because we are at 50% of our potential. Now, what if you could work 50% of the time and be at 150% of your potential? Think about that. And the last thing I want to leave you with is the notion of becoming aware. Through meditation, we're able to find that silence, reconnect with our higher selves, our soul, our spirit, and actually listen to our intuition from within. And the reason that is important is because we are faced with so many choices every day. The choice to overwork, the choice to not sleep enough. And you want to be aware enough in the moment to make the right choice. And so self-awareness, whilst the last thing I'm talking about is the very first place you have to start to manifest the life that you love and dream of, to get to being great and amazing. And so I like to share one final story of a man's journey to self-awareness in 5 chapters. Chapter 1, the man is walking down a street. There's a hole in the road, and he doesn't see the hole. He falls in, it takes him forever to get out. Chapter 2, the man is walking down the road. This time he sees the hole, but he pretends not to see it. And he falls in again, and it takes him forever to get out. Chapter 3, He's walking down the hole, and he sees it this time, but he falls in anyway because it's a habit, and he can't help himself. But this time, he gets out a little bit quicker. Chapter 4, the man is walking down the same street, and this time, he walks around the hole. In Chapter 5, he takes a different path. And so I'm asking, will you take a different path to pursue your greatness and amazing in life? If you'd like to follow along with me and how I help others on my journey, you can do so at thebrookedaniels.com and thebrookedaniels on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thank you, and namaste.